Hey, this is Ralph, and in this video I want to use Excel and particularly named cells and named ranges to make my life a little bit easier. Alright, so I've got a spreadsheet set up and I'm going to perform some calculations pretty soon. And instead of referring to a lot of cells by their cell reference, their cell address, like B4 or G9, I want to refer to some names that are logical. So I'm going to start off over here on the far left, and basically I want to create a payment calculation, but instead of referring to cell references, let's see if I can't refer to some cell names. So I'm going to name a couple of things. So for instance, I will click on cell D5, which is currently 15 for the number of years, and then I can just click up in the name box right up here in the left, to the left of the formula bar, and I can just type in the word years. Press enter. I'll do something similar for rate. I'll click on cell B6 and I'm going to go ahead and type in annual rate or A rate. Now that I've got that information in, well, I can do another one here. I'll click on loan amount and I'm going to go ahead and type in loan amount. Can't put any spaces, by the way, in your named cells or named ranges, so I used an underscore there. Now I'm going to head down to my monthly payment cell and I'm going to perform a calculation. Equals PMT opening parentheses. Now I could click on the cell that contains the rate and you'll notice it's going to put my A rate name right in there. So that's one way to go. Or I could have just started typing out the name of my rate or the name of my cell, and you can see that it's actually part of my list in my shortcut menu. That's one way to go. I'm going to go ahead and do this, A rate divided by 12, comma. Now I want my years, and so for this one I can just go ahead and start to type out year or get my years. I can use my arrow keys and then just tab over. Okay, I've got that, but I need to multiply it by 12, comma, and then I can do a negative version of my loan amount, which is my present value. The writing the function this way gives me absolutely accurate results, and it can make a lot more sense to the writer, but also to people that need to go to your worksheet later on and review it and figure out exactly what that function means. Now, using that same basic technique, I can also name ranges of cells. So let me go ahead and populate this amortization table. So for my payments, that's going to be equal to my calculated payment, which I haven't named, so let me go ahead and take a moment to do that. I'll go ahead and call this my loan PMT. Now I can refer to that easily enough, equals loan PMT. I'm going to calculate my interest, which is going to be equal to my loan amount multiplied by my interest rate divided by 12. I have one extra parenthesis in there I don't quite need, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that. My principal is going to be equal to my payment minus my interest. Balance is going to be equal to my original loan amount minus my principal. Okay. Now all of my payments are going to be the same, so I can just autofill that down, and all of my payment cells are going to be equal to my loan payment. No problem there. Now for my interest, similar but different, equals my previous loan balance times annual rate divided by 12. Let's make sure I've got all that proper. Missing the multiplication in there. There we go. And I could autofill that down. That's okay that those are zeros. They're going to populate in just a moment. And then, of course, my principal is going to still be the same, so I can just autofill all of those down, just double-clicking on the fill handle. And my balance is going to change a little bit, equals previous month's balance minus the principal for that particular month. And then I can autofill that down. And I know I'll be successful if everything zeroes out at the end. Now, what I'm going to do next is create some named ranges that I can do some calculations with. This time, I'm going to go ahead and click on the very top principal value. I'll do a Control-Shift down, which will select all of the values in that particular column. I'll go to my named ranges, and I'm going to go ahead and put in principal payments. So it's a big kind of long name. I'll do something similar for interest. Control-Shift down arrow selects all of those, and I'm going to name those interest payments. Now that I have those named ranges, I can head over here and put in total principal and total interest. And then it's easy enough to incorporate those named ranges into functions. Equals sum, and then I can simply put in my principal payments, and equals sum interest payments. I'll go ahead and format both of these as some currencies. And there we go. So I'm basically just using those particular named ranges as an alternative to a cell reference. So named ranges are a pretty nice way to go. And although I don't need to here, I can head over to formulas, and then there's my name manager, and I can work with existing named ranges or named cells if I need to make modifications to them after I've already put them into use. Take care.